I am going to share with you how my first day in the UK was. I flew back in September 2022. So I'm just going to explain how my flight was and how I arrived in the UK and what was my reaction when I came out of the airport and my entire travel journey to Lincoln and all of that. So my flight was on the 20th of September. I flew from Mumbai and it was at 9:30 p.m. So I basically arrived at the airport at 5:30, did all the things I needed to do, and it was a connecting flight. So I flew at 9:30. The food was good. I don't remember what it was, but I have made a vlog on it if you want to go and check the visual representation of what I'm talking right now. And after 4 hours, the first flight landed in Bahrain, and I quickly took the internet and everything. My brother was awake because he was in Paris and everything, so I was basically chatting to him how the experience is going and everything like that. And then the layover wasn't too bad. It was just like 2.5 hours, and then I basically boarded the next flight from Bahrain. I didn't have much time to look around or anything because I was really tired as well. By the time the security passed and everything, our next flight was announced, so I was just gone there. The weird part was I had to do another security check-in before boarding the flight. Everyone had to do that. So that is something I experienced for the first time. And then I boarded the next one and I arrived at 7 a.m. in London. And that was on the 21st of September. So that is the day I arrived in the UK for the first time. And I remember I saw this beautiful sunrise happening when I just landed, and I went into Terminal 4. And then I basically did all the immigration process again. There was a long queue, and then picked up my baggage and then went and sat on the Terminal 4 arrivals area because I had booked a free airport pickup service from the University of Lincoln that they were doing, and the bus was going to arrive at 2 p.m. So basically after immigration and everything, I think it was like 8:30 a.m. Close to 9 a.m. I would say, and I still had to basically kill a lot of hours. So I was just talking to family, updating all of them how it was going, and then I did take a nap over there, even when my family said that you have a lot of baggage and everything with you, don't take a nap, but I still did because I was so tired. And then what I had to do is I had to go to Terminal 3 because that's where the airport pickup service was. To go there, I had watched a lot of YouTube videos. So there was a person, so I just went to him and asked, I want to go to Terminal 3 because my university bus is going to come there. And then he had those passes in his hand, so he just handed me out one. It was like a free pass that you get to transfer to any of the terminals in Heathrow. So that was a pretty easy process, and then I just scanned that, went to underground, sat in that underground, went to Terminal 3. It was pretty easy because I think there were signs everywhere. The only difficult part was I had that trolley which had all my bags on. Obviously, while going into the underground, I had to basically keep the trolley over there and take all the bags. So the thing was, I had my big bag, I had my medium bag and two small bags. So I had one big bag and one small in one hand, and one medium and one small in one hand, and my sack on my back. So I was literally just dragging. I have no idea how I did it because it was just the most chaotic process now that I'm thinking about it. But at that time I was really calm and I was just going with it because I was no one knows me in this country, and it's fine, it's not embarrassing or anything. So I just did everything by myself. And then when I finally came to Terminal 3, I had to drag my bags again, and then I finally found a trolley, so I kept everything on that. And there was a ramp that I saw. I didn't see an elevator anywhere, so I had to basically drag all those bags, the trolley, up that ramp, and it was very irritating and annoying. I must tell you, it was so irritating. And I then was just basically killing time. I somehow killed time, and then at 1, I think I met the representatives at 1, and they were just waiting for everyone to come along, and then we went outside with them. Then the shuttle was literally outside, and I felt really nice, and then we basically just sat on the bus, and then I fell asleep because I was so tired. I didn't see anything on the highway and stuff because I was just sleeping. And then our bus stopped at a gas station, and then they gave us an option if you want to go out and have like basically refresh yourself, go to toilets, or get yourself some food and stuff like that. I had my food with me, so I did have it in the bus itself. But I called Nishant up, and I was like, I just started sobbing. I was like, what am I doing here? Why am I in this country? How am I going to do this? And everything like that. It just was so overwhelming, and I was not reacting until that point. And then suddenly when I stopped at the gas station, came out of the bus, I was just feeling extremely overwhelmed. So I feel like if you're planning to come to the UK, just expect that feeling. You will obviously get excited over the next few days, but the first sudden reaction was definitely, I was extremely overwhelmed. Then our bus was back on road again, and then I saw a few bits and pieces as soon as Lincoln started arriving. And then I saw the cathedral from the bus, and I was like, wow, this is so surreal, because I'd always seen the pictures and the videos on YouTube and on the internet, and to see that in front of me was really nice. And then Lincoln is a small town, so we literally entered, and then they had to park because the campus was literally there. So all the student representatives, the volunteers were there standing waiting for us to help us carry our luggage and everything like that. So the international student officer, she came, she gave us like the goodie bags which had all the University of Lincoln merchandise in it. So that was a very warm welcome, I feel. And obviously she basically saw the camera in my neck, and she was like, oh, you're a photographer, and all of that. And they obviously they introduced each of the authority, and then basically just told how everything's gonna happen, and just gave us nice welcoming speech and stuff like that. And then when I was talking to one of the student representatives, I was saying that, yeah, I'm looking for a part-time, and I really want something in like video editing or content creation, because I'm into that field. And because everyone saw my camera, it was really easy for me to talk. Because they instantly knew that I was like a creative person. And then he was like, oh, by the way, I've seen something like that, and I think the business school is looking for some. I was like, that's great, because I'm going to be studying in the business school. So then he took my Instagram and basically sent me the post that day itself. Then that representative helped me carry all my luggage. We basically just split in a few groups, and because everyone was staying in different accommodations. While going, they also invited me to this international student hangout that was going to happen the next day. So that was like really exciting and something to look forward to. And then I arrived at my accommodation. I entered my room and everything. I thanked the representative. He was the one who recommended me the job. So I thanked him, and then basically I was just trying to figure out. Obviously, because it was dark, I didn't feel anything. I was like, what is this place? What is this room? How am I going to live here? All those thoughts were going on in my mind. But then I was just like so tired that I wanted to just sleep. Now, the next thing was I didn't have any bedding, and like I mentioned in my last video, the shops closed at 5 or 6 p.m. So I didn't have any bedding with me, any pillows or any blankets with me, and it was end of September, so it had started to get cold, but it was not extremely cold. And I just opened my bags in my room on the floor, and I basically had one shawl under me, one shawl over me as my one shawl as my bedsheet, one shawl as my blanket, and some clothes as my pillows. So that was my setup for the night. And I obviously met a few of my flatmates that day and introduced myself. And one of the flatmates I'd spoken to was from before, from India. We found out that we were in the same flat when we were in the same Facebook group. So that was really nice. And then I met him later that night. And then obviously the struggle of not having a toilet paper and figuring out how the shower works, how everything works. And luckily my mom had packed me a bunch of like parathas with me, which are like flat breads, and basically it was really easy for me. I didn't have to cook for a few days. I just survived on those parathas. I was really nauseous and bored of having those, but that was the way I survived. And then I did get up in the middle of the night because it was really cold and I didn't know how to operate the heater and everything. I just turned it on. And then I could sleep the rest of the night, luckily. The flatmate that I had met on the Facebook group, he was really helpful. So the next day, he took me to like some stores which had blankets and pillows and everything like that. So we went out, we basically, introduced each other, talked, and it was like really nice. He's such a good friend. And we went to Asda, got my duvet, got my duvet cover, my bed sheet, my pillows and my pillow cover. So it was like a 30-pound, I think 26-pound purchase, and he helped me carry all the way back to the accommodation. And then that day I was just setting everything up, unpacked everything. I had unpacked it a few of the things the last night, but then just threw them into like my cupboard. Then the next day I was like organizing each of the cupboard, like the shelves and compartments and stuff like that. And then, like I said, I went to the International Student Hangout and I made a few friends over there, so it was really nice. I did also apply to the job that was recommended by the student representative. And luckily, after 11 days, I started my part-time job. So I feel like the process was really chaotic and overwhelming. I did feel that on the first day. The second day, when I stepped out in the daylight, I felt really nice and positive, and I felt very ambitious, and it was just really nice because it was sunny outside and I was roaming around in my t-shirt, not wearing any puffer jackets. But soon in that first week, I did fall sick because I was not wearing any puffer jackets, and I had to go and get it. And it was also like the change of water, the change of everything, the change of air and stuff like that, that made me fall sick. So that was my first day and a little bit of the second day in the UK. Like I said, it was chaotic and overwhelming, and it was nothing like, oh my god, yes, this is my dream, and I was feeling nothing at all on the first day. But that feeling did come as and how things started to fall in place, and that's my story of my first day in the UK. So I really hope that you liked this video. Just wanted to make this as a separate video because this is something I will always cherish and always keep with me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give this video a huge like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!